John the Barber, John Russo, Father and Son, by Peter Cady. John used to cut hair for my whole family. His father, Cumba, John knew my grandfather, Joe Vozella, and cut his hair. They both came over on the boat. Then John the son took over, cutting Grandpa's hair after John Sr. died. Near the end of my grandfather's life, John would go to his house to cut his hair. My grandfather kept his full head of silvery hair. It was just John there at the barber shop after his dad died, but off and on he had another barber. Carl Ananias' barber shop was a rival for customers. John took on Carl, who was very alone after his wife died, until Carl died. My non-Italian dad went to John for his crew cut. He took me and my twin brother John for our first barber experience. It was maybe 1960. I was 5, and I still remember crying when it was my turn. Just jacking up the chair terrified me. Meanwhile, the other men in the shop, it was all men, there was a stack of Playboys on a high shelf that they could look at. I didn't know till I was older. I only looked at one once, and I felt so awkward in front of someone who knew me as a child. Watching John stroop his straight razor on the leather strap was visually arresting, even though at first I had no comprehension of this act. When I got older, he cleaned up my neck with a razor and hot foam out of the dispenser. Witch hazel stuff that he sprinkled on afterwards really stung. John, diminutive in stature, had an indoor pale skin and rather delicate hands. When I started earning money, I realized that I could go to other barber shops, not just John's. Other barber shops were more expensive, but my dad would still give us money for John's price. My brother lived near Boston as an adult and was nostalgic for John's. He'd bring his own boys there. It was a special event, with lots of photos. Walking past the barber shop, I always gave him a wave.